marker, the well review, guys. We're late to the party. You know, Angela, I didn't expect, if you were to tell me at this very moment, by the way, we're late to the party, guys. We do apologize on that. We're a little late watching this movie. This movie came out back in November, and it was one of our to-do lists because we're doing the top 10 2022 films of the year, and this definitely is on the list. So we're going to be knocking out this review, guys. Thank you so much for watching us. And if you have not already, hit that subscribe button, like us, subscribe, and talk movies with us. We love talking movies with you guys. Comment down below, and we got our top 10 2022 coming out list very soon. But besides all that, you know, this movie got high praise. We saw the TikTok video. I saw the videos of nonstop of high praise towards Brendan Fraser himself in this role, and we saw people standing ovation. So many different festivals, nonstop, right? Nonstop. And now after watch this movie, now we know why. And this performance of Brendan Fraser, it's a shine montage to his whole career. If someone had told me the guy from The Mummy, the guy from Bedazzled, the guy from that, I would not expect this at all from a career-changing lifespan here. I mean,
he's such an underrated actor. He's fantastic, and yeah. I haven't had the pleasure of seeing him in a lot of other things, but yeah.
The guy from Blast of the Past. Yeah, like
George of the Jungle.
Yeah, exactly. George of the Jungle himself, which I really do love the movie. I don't care what anyone says. I love that movie, but all bets aside, The Mummy. I love The Mummy. Whether you loved it or hate them, they were really good. For me, they were really good, solid films. I enjoyed each of their adventures together. But going back to this, it's very shocking.
I haven't seen him in a lot of other stuff, besides a lot of those classic roles, but this was a whole different side of him, and I agree with you. Going into this, I had high expectations because I had heard all the stories, like you say, standing ovations at the premieres, and it takes a lot to have that response, to have that reaction, and so I was like, you know what, this is gonna be darn good. Yeah, and my gosh, it was darn fantastic. Yes, he was fantastic. I don't think we can praise him enough for this role. He was it was definitely
a movie to where it gets you so many different emotions here. It really
I was crying like the whole last
it captivates us as human beings in our struggles with our own issues that we only have, and like it's just our own struggle of life decisions, things that you may regret in life, and it's really a poetry act of itself. This film tells of a story of a reclusive English teacher attempts to reconnect with his estranged teenage daughter. Knowing where the outcome came, and knowing, we're not going to go into spoilers or whatsoever, but let's talk about Sadie Sink in here. She plays a supporting role in here from Stranger Things.
Sink,
yeah, she was really good. I mean, I liked her. I know at one point you did show me there's a music video of her. Obviously, the whole world has seen it by now. By Taylor Swift. And wow, for them not to say anything with Dylan O'Brien, your one and only Dylan O'Brien.
Well, back up. They do have a scene in the middle of the music video where they have an argument.
It's good. It's great. I thought that was really good camera work. But knowing where she's come from, where she's been at, knowing her from Max and all that stuff, of course, where her career changed, and coming to this type of role, A24 movie with Brendan Fraser, I thought that was really good. I thought that's a really good career move. Brendan Fraser with A24. A24 doesn't disappoint, man. Oh my God. Like, it's definitely a movie, and we've been seeing critics say it. It's not a movie that they love, but it's definitely a standing ovation to Brendan Fraser. Brendan Fraser does a phenomenal job. I guarantee he's going to get nominated for an Oscar.
He better. He better.
Yeah, he's going to get nominated for an Oscar for this movie. Now, if he's going to win it, that's another case. But tough. I really do hardly believe that he's going to get nominated. Now, can this... let's talk about just so many different emotional roller coaster in this movie. We see how A24 can do these intense, beautiful scenes, beautiful movies to where it's literally based in one living room, pretty much the whole film.
Literally, it really is. I mean, we're not exaggerating. The whole setting is in one apartment. Yeah, and exactly. Because of his health, issues. He has very hard time, being mobile. So it's like you say, most 90% of the film is in the living room, and to have such like a limited space and range to do it
and give us so much story. Give us a plot. Give us a beginning, middle, and end.
Characters, development.
Give us emotional roller coaster. Even though there's nothing going on, there's no CGI. There's like one maybe out of cutscene that's not there, but that's it. One beach scene, and it's just like, dude, that's it. Like that's literally the whole concept of this movie, of set wise. It didn't take that much to make this movie. Let's be honest. It really did it. This was, of course, directed by Darren
Aronofsky. Excuse us if we're pronouncing.
Yeah, Darren Aronofsky. You know, this director, this visionary person is definitely he's definitely gonna make a name for himself in the Hollywood scene here, if he has not already. This movie really stood out to me because it comes down to the creative standpoint here. It comes down to where is he at? He's done producing stuff. He's born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. And knowing that he's actually has a love for the classic filmmaking, and we see that a lot in this movie. We see so many classic shots here. We see so much filming that it's really good. I thought that was a really good story to tell. I thought it was very iconic scene of Brendan Fraser. I don't think we're gonna look at Brendan Fraser ever the same again. I really don't think so. After watching this movie and making the suit of the whole the scenes and all that, bringing them to life. I mean, there's this one beautiful scene where Brendan Fraser just is nonstop crying, and it's just
my god, I couldn't every time he cried.
Such a movement
I cried. That. Oh my gosh, yeah. you can't help it.
What is it with us loving sad movies so much? I don't know. I don't know what it is.
I love movies that can make me cry, and that was the first movie I've seen in a very long time that I like borderline almost bawled in the theater. Bald, and I can't because I have to like control the people next to me. Yeah. But literally those scenes where he's like crying, I just wanted to like bawl loudly because it was so emotional. It tugs at your heart. I can't deal with it. He was definitely so fantastic. I can't say enough good things about him.
And exactly, and that's the whole point, is that you get to fall in love with these characters. You get to fall in love with this story. You get to fall in love with Brendan Fraser because he creates you into this whole visionary concept of himself, and this is what acting's all about. This is it right here, ladies and gentlemen. Not the other stuff. Just this is what acting's about. Just so many. Everything all at once is another good concept of that as well. There's so much story to be told here, and I love how we get to see in such a small one set. That's it. One simple set, and it comes down to directing, comes down to story plot, comes down to a lot of tension, comes down to the actors. It really does, because they have to carry this movie because there's no CGI effects. They have to
bring that movie and their characters to life.
Exactly.
Because it's really, there's nothing outside of this apartment that's shown except for a flashback of a beach scene. That's it. That is it. And so it on paper sounds... that could get very boring as an audience member very quickly. Yeah, that's why you rely on the actors, because they have to make those scenes intense, entertaining. They have to captivate you, and I think every single one of the actors and actresses did such a great job in doing that. I think they did such a great job as telling the stories of their characters. Even though some characters had bigger scenes, obviously, than others, bigger mentions.
Another good actor I would like to mention as well was Ty Simpkins. He actually, you recognized him, Angela did. He's like, isn't that from Endgame? And you're like,
he's from Iron Man.
Iron Man. I was like, no, I didn't recognize him at first. And
he's grown up.
Obviously, Insidious,
and the nurse friend. I think her name's Hong Chow. I think. We recognize her as well. We just saw The Menu. I know she's in other stuff too, but that's the one that we just saw her in, and she did a phenomenal job as well. I think she was. God, it was so to see their chemistry together. She cared about him, he cared about her, and it was so good. Sad to see the story.
It was so amazing to know that this, by just showing their facial emotions, says 1,000 words. It really does, and it shows that this is what filming's all about. This is what acting's all about, and I love those scenes. I really do, because they show so much. They show us how it almost makes you question, would I react the same? There's so many scenes to where Brandon Fraser's like, "Am I disgusting? Do you think I'm disgusting? And I'm all like, and it makes you question, like, would you say yes? Would you say no? What would you say in that act? Would you be kind? And that's the thing too with Brandon Fraser. His whole, mentality was, positivity. His whole mentality was, you have to, us as human beings, I have to believe we care for one another. And we see that a lot. He said it one time in the movie, and it's like I have to believe, I have to care for someone. And his performance was strong, was 100% strong. We're gonna go on and on about we could go on and on about Brandon Fraser, and I know people are gonna say, "Oh, you don't recognize him from Doom Patrol." Well, Doom Patrol is.
I liked Doom Patrol.
Okay, yeah, Doom Patrol is another situation to where I really didn't like it. I'm a huge DC fan, and I did not like Doom Patrol. I liked season 1. Then after that, I was like, okay, I'm done. I
liked it.
Again, it goes down to it wasn't my audience. I'm not the target audience here.
It wasn't your cup of tea. It's okay.
It wasn't I would say it's not the target audience for me. But definitely when it comes down to Brendan Fraser and everything, I mean, he deserves nomination here. Yes. Now, if he's gonna win it, it's gonna be really good.
That's tough because
I think he will.
I know they haven't.
There's a huge chance.
I know they haven't, announced the
nominees.
The nominees yet, but there's gonna be some hard hitting contenders this year. Yeah. To be honest, there's a lot of great movies that have come out. A lot of great performances. Mm-hmm. I truly hope and really hope he gets nominated. I do think I have a feeling he will. Yeah. He deserves it. 100%, 1000%. Yeah. But we'll see if he grabs the wins the Oscar. We'll see.
And that's the thing too. We see so much. We're going to see a lot of different actors and actresses in the Oscar race here. And, Paul Dano is probably going to be another one, his competitor, because Paul Dano is going to get nominated for The Fabelmans. He was excellent in The Fabelmans. He was excellent in The Batman. Paul Dano is definitely going to hit those one-liners. He was, I could go on and on. So I could see his competition. Brandon Fraser's competition is going to be Paul Dano. Definitely, I guarantee you it's going to be 100% Paul Dano in the race for the Oscar, along with Brandon Fraser. Now it's going to come down to, you think The Whale will get Best Picture? I don't think so.
I don't think so. Yeah. Because as much as we could go on and on about Brandon Fraser, the movie itself wasn't as good as the performance.
Yeah, let's talk about that. So we mentioned a lot in the Movie Talk studio here is that there's a few movies in here that where like we just didn't like the movie, or in this case we did, right? We really did. We enjoyed it. But there's so many situations to where the movie wasn't that good, but the performances were amazing. And it's like, how can you rate a movie so low, but yet like there's a possibility, guys. That's I'm just like, you guys are crazy not to think like, okay, just because you give a movie a 10 and you're like, well, I didn't like the performances, then you could still give a movie a 10, it's one of those situations to where, what does the movie make you feel? That's all I'm saying. That's all we care about. We love talking movies here. And I'm going to go on the limb here. And was this the fun that we just jump and say hell to the yes, hell to the yes. Rating 1 out of 10, 10 being the highest. I'm gonna go on. So the rating for me, again, the movie for me was a solid 6, but the performance of Brandon Fraser was a solid 9.5. We go back to the situation to where how can you give a movie a 6, but yet give the performance such almost a 10 rating instead? Because that's just the way I felt. This movie exceeded my expectations way more. I'm sorry. The movie didn't exceed my expectations, but the actor did, and it 100%, 110%. If you go back to his Bedazzled days, but yeah, it definitely. I just can't believe this is the guy from Blast from the Past. This is the guy. It's just George of the Jungle.
I know you love that.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. I'm excited to see what else he's gonna bring to the table here. And A24 does not disappoint. But yeah, what are you gonna give this rating, Angela?
I would give the movie a 6.5, and Brandon Fraser's performance a 10 out of 10.
Dang,
hands down, 100%. Yeah. No doubt, no regrets.
No regrets.
No regrets. No regrets.
Oh man, we're the Millers. Oh, that movie's another good class. It's gonna become a classic film. But yeah, so what was your rating again? I'm sorry.
I'll give the film a 6.5.
Oh, 6.5. Dang. Okay. All right. What about Brandon Fraser's performance?
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Dang. 10 out of 10. All right, guys. Obviously, we do recommend this movie. It's a little bit above average for us. We're giving it a solid 6. So be sure to check out this movie in theaters near you if you have not already. And put on comments down below. Maybe you guys did not like this movie. Put in comments down below. We love talking about this movie, but for the most part, we've been hearing a lot of people say the movie itself is not strong enough, but the performance is impeccable. It really is. But yeah, guys, if you have not already, like, share, subscribe. Thank you so much for making us a part of your day. As always, I'm your host, Ryan D. Ryan680.
This is Cat Lady Ange.
And this is Alamo City Movie Talk. Check you later, San Antonio. Stay safe. Catch you later.